do? Hello, hi, hello. Welcome to the morning. So, one thing that I don't feel like is talked about a lot that I would like to address is depression, because statistically speaking, there's a lot of us that suffer with it, and as females, unfortunately, we tend to suffer with it a little more. So, gonna give you a little history on Senorita stuff. I basically have struggled with depression, which I'll explain what Stephanie's depression looks like. So, I would not want to do anything, go anywhere. My best friends would call to be like, "Hey, girl, no, they're I'm not answering calls." Just pretty much trying to like shut myself in my own little world. My viewpoint on why that is happening is I feel like people do that because they're trying to, there's a weird sense of trying not to infect others with your sadness. It's a weird thing. That's the only way to describe it. So when I first started working out, it was for depression. It was either that, I kind of was at 18, I was offered Prozac. Everyone's going to make their own choices. You got to listen to your body. But something for me said, no, do not put that foreign substance in your body. And I'll tell you why. If you are going to take something like Prozac, again, who is not a doctor? This girl. So, and you got to follow your own path, people. I have got friends that have done it for ages. You just got to do your own thing. But the thing that I'll say about it is that when I was offered this, there was no plan of like, okay, you're going to do this for 30 days and then you're going to wean off of it or get off of it. I didn't feel like that was even addressed. And it just wasn't going to be on something for the rest of my life when I have not exhausted all other options. That is me. To each his own. I also felt like I was 18. I was like, I'm 18. Aren't we all supposed to be a little like, woo, figuring it out and stuff? So that was me. So from there, I was reading, this is before the internet was huge, so I was just reading up on like how other people deal with depression and what they can do, and one of the biggest things was routine and exercise. And eating. When you eat crap and you affect the hormones in your body and you're imbalanced and you have inflammation because you've just eaten crap, and then you don't feel like exercising. You see the cycle? That's what's going to happen. And I'm going to tell you right now, there is a reason that depression is linked with junk food. But usually, people who are depressed usually are not working out and they're not eating healthy. There's the outlier of, people that are. And then they've got to go internally. Maybe they're not meditating. Maybe they're just on the wrong life path and they're having a moment. I'm not saying this is the cure-all. I'm saying for me, I chose going to the gym and eating right over Prozac. That was Stephanie's decision. You have to listen to your body. I cannot stress it enough. You know your body better than anyone out there because you're with yourself 24/7. And if you're not, I don't know what you're doing. Out-of-body experience? Weird. Cool. Tell me about it. Anyway. So it was the routine. And also, when you go, I'm going to tell you right now, I've got my colleague, we go to spin together, spin class. Love the spin class. And she is so funny because she was not a big exerciser, but she was like, I've gained some weight, I've got to do something. And I was like, yo, go to spin class with me. And it was awesome because she went to spin class and we're sitting in the car driving back to the office. And she was like, I feel awesome right now. And you just saw the awesome took over her. And I was like, that is the workout high that I'm talking about. That's the runner's high. That's the weightlifting high. It's all the same. There is this high that you get, this empowerment, this I can fucking do this. It's so, so cool. And then there's the food part of it. Food affects everyone differently. You got your allergies and you got your sensitivities and all this. But I'm telling you right now, for me, I'm thinking of when I was the chubbiest. Not that, again, that's just a symptom of the problem, right? If you're, the chubby was not the problem. It was the imbalance of life that I was having, and the fact that I wasn't dealing with life was the problem. Chubby was the symptom. The end. One of the many symptoms. I also wasn't just like taking care of myself. I was just basically like, I don't care about anything. And if you're struggling with depression, it's the hardest thing to do in the world to A, admit it, because sometimes you don't even know what's going on. B, actually go get help because everything inside of you is going, no, stay inside under your covers. And it just feels like it's never ending. I can tell you, if you take one baby step, that's the hardest one. The one first little baby step is the absolute hardest one, is to get out of bed, get out of your pajamas, go for a walk. Even just that, say no to the McDonald's, say, find real food. I remember I went through a really bad breakup, and I had a roommate, thank goodness, and she would go to work, and I had a freelance job, so I wasn't on a job at that moment, and she would go to work, and I would be in my bed crying, and she would come home, and I'd be in my bed crying, and I think she was like, we got some problems, and of course I'm like, no, I don't. And the first thing that I did was that we had a track next to our house, and I was like, all right, let's just take one lap around the track. And it's just so funny because it's like once you can affirm to your mind, you know what, I have control over this. Not this fog that I'm in. Fuck that fog. I've got this. I'm going to list some other supplements. These are vitamins like 5-HTP that I took that were, in theory, they're mood-enhancing things. And I took these religiously. I was really struggling. When you feel like that, if somebody tells you to wear unicorn ears and, run naked in the street, I think at that point you're kind of willing to do that because you're just like, I can't feel like this anymore, right? So anyway, I'm going to list some supplements that I took. Again, ask your doctor, ask your health professional, because I am not one. Just baby steps, guys. And reach out. So hard, but reach out, and I promise you, you will get through it. You really, really will. Alright guys, ask me questions, give me comments. I'll talk to you later. Thanks so much.